Hi, my name is Josh Dorian, a security architect with Google Cloud. And in this video, we're going to show you how to migrate your key, your site key specifically, from version 2 or version 3 to reCAPTCHA Enterprise. We'll do this all in under about 10 minutes. So for the first couple of steps that are required for migration, it is important that you have created a project within the Google Cloud Console, that you have enabled billing for that project, and you have enabled the reCAPTCHA Enterprise API. Our documentation will walk you through these first few steps, but they are relatively simple. The next important step that you will need to do is install and initialize the Cloud SDK on a computer that has command line access. This can be a Windows machine or a Linux machine, or even a terminal on a Chromebook. Once you have done this, the very first step is going to be to collect the information about your existing reCAPTCHA key. In order to do this, go to google.com/reCAPTCHA/admin. Once you're there, you'll see a page that looks similar to this, but likely with more analytics. From here, you'll want to either get the existing information about your site key, which you can do by pressing the gear right here. But for the sake of the demo today, we'll create a new key, and we will just call this an example key. We'll make it a reCAPTCHA v3 key. Put in our domain as example.com, accept the terms of service, and click submit. Now, whether you are using an existing key or whether you're using a new key that you just created, all you're actually going to need is this site key right here. So the first thing you would need to do is copy this site key and then put it somewhere where you'll have access to it, such as either a clipboard or a notepad. From there, we can then migrate directly to the command line. So once you're in your command line window, it is important to note that you must be a project owner, or you must have the reCAPTCHA Enterprise Admin IAM role on the user account that you're going to use for login. After you have done this, you will then need to log into the Google Cloud SDK. You do this with the command gcloud auth login. Now, what will happen when we press enter here is you will be given a URL. Normally, this URL you would not want to use. This is really going to be for personal login, and we usually recommend using service accounts to log into the Cloud SDK. But for the sake of the demo today, we'll use my own personal account. You'll note if you're running this inside a compute engine virtual machine, you will be reminded that you should be using service accounts. But since we're using my personal account, we will press Y. From here, you will be given a URL that you can then copy and paste into your browser. And what this URL will let you do is log in as yourself and then retrieve a verification code. Now, I'm already logged in, so we'll skip this piece for the demo, but you'll want to put that code in here and press enter. After that, you'll be successfully logged into the Google Cloud SDK, and we can proceed with the next step. Now, in terms of the next step, there's really only one more step, and that's going to be to actually migrate the key. Our documentation gives you a sample command to use for this. The sample command is right here, gcloud alpha reCAPTCHA keys migrate site key followed by project ID. Earlier, we had you copy the site key to your clipboard. So you're going to want to replace site key with the data that you have in your clipboard. And then you're going to want to replace project ID with the actual project ID of your project. If you are not familiar with project IDs, you can retrieve them from the main page of the Google Cloud Console when you log in at console.cloud.google.com. Alternatively, if you're already in the Cloud Console, you can open up the hamburger menu, that's the 3 lines in the upper left, go to IAM and admin, and then settings. Once you have the project ID, you will simply paste it here. This project ID may be prepended by an organization if you have one. In my case, it's google.com, and the project ID is bullpen-UPS. From here, you simply press enter. Give it a couple of seconds here, and it will confirm the key has now been migrated. So there is the web settings saying I don't allow all domains. I only allow my domain, example.com, with an integration type of score, my challenge security preference if I've specified one, and the creation time of the key. And that's it. The key is now migrated to reCAPTCHA Enterprise, and you can now access this key through the actual Google Cloud Console. The way that you do this is by going to Security under the hamburger menu, and then reCAPTCHA Enterprise. After you have done that, you will see that key in your list. You'll remember earlier I created a key called example key, and there it is. And you'll be able to click it and actually see the analytics for it, or edit and modify it just like you used to do in the old panel, except for now within the enterprise panel. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video, and congratulations on your migration to reCAPTCHA Enterprise.